Back in action.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back here, man. We getting our stuff together, get another good episode out here.
Yeah, absolutely. And guess you got coming on today, or we have coming on. It's great. It's going to show a lot of value in the probate lane. So this is
Yeah,
going to be another good one.
yeah. I'm looking forward to it. To our viewers out there watching, I want to give a shout out to one of our big fans, Mr. Butch. If you're watching, uh,
Butch, we need you, man. We miss you, buddy.
ready to start working with you, and we hope you like today's podcast. And to
Yeah,
everybody who's watching the Probate Hero Collective right now, welcome back. Uh,
absolutely.
today, today we have an incredible guest, an awesome guest joining us, Mr. Bill Gross. Bill
Mm,
is especially known for his deep expertise in the Los Angeles probate market. Bill is
hmm.
also the host of a popular weekly podcast called Probate Weekly, where
Yep.
just like us, he dives into everything from securing probate sales, building relationships with probate
Yeah.
attorneys, and mastering the real estate business.
Yep.
Bill Bill brings decades of experience working with agents and investors, and he offers invaluable guidance on finding things like probate leads, marketing effectively in the probate niche, and
Yeah.
navigating the complexities that come with these probate transactions. And also, I want to mention before we bring Bill on, he's also involved with Probate Cash, which
Mm,
like a inheritance advance type
yep.
company.
Yep.
Just another.
Great resource.
We've talked about this before, how we offer a similar service just to add another
Hmm.
layer to our toolkit. So, um, lastly, I'll just mention about Bill. He holds a broker's associate license with EXP. Um,
Hmm.
today, we're going to talk to Bill just about some proven strategies and get it all out on the table. So, without further ado, let's welcome Bill Gross to the Probate Hero Collective. Bill, are you there?
Where's the air? Come on down.
There he is. He's coming in. There he is.
There he
Coming,
is, Mr.
coming in
Bill.
hot.
Coming in
Coming in
hot.
hot.
Well, Bill,
Awesome.
welcome to the Probate Hero Collective. We're
Yeah.
really happy that you were able to find time for us today.
Thanks. Anything for you, man. Gary, I thank you for inviting me, and I follow you and your group, and I followed your father as well, and Ray, of course, as well. I know you were I was joining XP back when you were I think the designated broker back then. And I appreciate
Oh
your work
yeah.
in that.
Yeah.
That you're a veteran of that process. So I'm glad to help you guys anytime I can.
That was a
Awesome.
that was
Awesome.
a crazy time when Ray
That
was.
was a crazy time. Yeah. A lot of
Whew.
growing pains, but that's a whole other chapter.
It's funny you say because when people tell me they're at another company and they have
Mhm.
like 5,000 people and they're going to be like EXP and have 88,000, I'm like, to go from where you are to where you're now, there's some pain involved. I went through that once,
Yeah.
and it's not easy. It is not easy. So
Yeah.
yeah, but thank you for your
Yeah.
help along the way.
Yeah,
Awesome.
he was great. And my
Yeah.
dad actually is the reason he's the guy who put Ray in that position.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
I didn't know
He-
that.
yeah, yeah. I,
he-
I don't remember exactly. I think my father was like agent 90 or 91 or something.
well, back then, remember, you guys got in before me. I was with a very had a lot of market share here in the East Bay area in Danville. And I was obviously his pops mentored me in the probate lane. But anyhow, long story short, he joined and they were actually looking for a managing state broker. And I think they wanted your pops to do it, but he goes, nah, I don't want nothing to do with
He
that.
was, he was way too smart for that.
Well, he
But
has
I
a
know
good
Ray. Ray will fall for that trick. I know that one.
I fell for it. I said, "What? I got my broker license, but there was 20 agents in California,
Ooh,
probably 400 to 500 nationwide. We weren't in all states, so I interviewed for it. I got it, and one of the reasons why I took the leap of faith, obviously, to work the probates hand in hand,
oh, wow.
and do all that, which we did. Very successful. It was a great business, but also being the broker was a whole learning curve as we
Yeah.
started growing.
Wow.
it just got to a whole nother deal, right? Kind of took
Wow.
away from the skill set of doing deals because you're
Oh yeah.
a managing, right? And they're two different skill sets. That's why I stepped out of that
That train was running
2018.
downhill pretty fast.
It was, but the way it's set up now is what how I was wanted it to be back then, where
Yeah.
we had different regional brokers
Yeah.
because I was the guy for all of California. San Diego, LA, Redding, Ray, I got a problem. Ray. I'm like, oh
We're
my
not in MLS
God.
and Big Bear, you know.
Yeah,
I can't imagine what your life was. Like I said, I appreciate what you did because I wouldn't do it. I mean, there's no way.
yeah,
But thank you
yeah.
for doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, awesome, awesome, man. But anyhow, well, let's dive into this, Bill. I mean, obviously, you're a huge, you've been in the game a long time. Obviously, probate's one of your niches you've been working a long time. So
Yeah.
for a lot of agents, but they find probate the niche, it's like intimidating, right?
Mm.
In your opinion,
Mm.
what are the key mindset shifts and foundational steps agents need to successfully, break into the probate real estate?
It's a great question. It's so great that I actually do a four-part, coaching or series on getting the business. And part zero, I call it, is mindset because the mindsets come before the actions.
Yeah,
And so you're 100% right. I think the first thing is that you're trying that, and this is a big mistake real estate agents make, in my opinion, that you're looking to build a business rather than looking for a job, right? If you're going to just do deals and get commissions, split with your company, pay some expenses, get another deal, that's just a commission job. But a business is you have to think about what value created in the marketplace, generating systems and processes so the business runs. You help grow it, and at some point you could step out and it continues to go. So the first one I would say, and I know you guys do that with your lead gen system, I would say the first mindset is building a business. And the
mm,
second one that I think most agents miss is I get asked a lot, and I know you guys do a lot of coaching and deal with a lot of agents too. I get asked a question all the time that tells me they're on the wrong track. What's the easy way to build my probate business? And I said, well, I have no idea because this thing is anything but easy. Now, I enjoy it.
right,
It's stimulating. I help customers. I get customers who say thank you and I change their lives and I love doing it. And it's been very profitable, but it's not easy. I don't think anything worthwhile in life is easy. And so your mindset has to be more than that. You're looking for
mhm,
people with problems that you can solve or looking for
right.
people with problems and figure out how to solve them for them and find some way that fits your skill set and your experience and your Rolodex so that you can help them consistently. And that's how you get paid.
Right on the money. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that answer sounds familiar.
Well, I've listened to your videos. I listen to your dad's videos. Like this is we're kindred spirits. So like when you asked me to be on the podcast, I'm like, yeah, I could do that because I know exactly where you guys are coming from, and
Sure.
it's not a mystery. But I do think that we all need to hear it. We need to hear it over and over again. I'm saying it out loud to the podcast, but I'm saying it to myself too. Is because we all get a little lazy sometimes, and why is it so hard? It just is, man. And good. It's a good thing it's hard because then the competition. You
Yeah.
better be better than me if you're going to beat me, and most people aren't better than me. So that's how it works.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's why there's a revolving door. I like to
Right.
say with
Right.
agents that come into probate
Right.
and want to learn it, it's a revolving door because it's such a different skill set than being a regular real estate agent, and it's not easy.
Yeah.
The barrier to entry is not easy, and you're
Right.
going up against guys that are already very skilled in this
Right.
niche. It's real
Mhm.
difficult. That's pushing a boulder uphill, almost straight up vertical. It's
Yeah.
difficult for new agents to develop skills to compete against the guys that have been doing this for a very long time.
And I think that
Yeah.
that's also why I did get into coaching in this. I'm a practitioner. I do, coaching since I try to track people to my downline at EXP, and I do look for referrals from attorneys and other realtors and such. But you guys really offer like a whole system and a community and all that, and because that's what most agents need. And I think the other part I would say is for most agents, it's that first deal. They're not looking for probate. They're looking for expireds. They're looking for their sphere. And somebody goes, "Oh, gee, my mom died, or my cousin's mom died, and they don't have a trust. What do they do?" Well, that's a probate. And so they can bring it in your system. They can bring it to you and get a practitioner to help them turn that lead into a deal. And I think that's what they should be looking for. Is every realtor should be looking for those opportunities where there's a problem. it's title related, has to do with the succession of the property, and that's a probate. And find somebody, and if you're with Gary or Ray on their network or team or watch this podcast, reach out to them. They'll help you figure out what your options are and help that customer solve the problem.
You nailed
Yeah.
it. That's actually
Yeah.
exactly how we work with the agents that we train, coach,
Yeah.
is
hmm
telling them, with the leads that we provide them, we're just telling
Right.
them, when you call, all you're trying to do is uncover what problems they're facing.
Right.
And the
Right.
moment you extract that data from them, they
Right.
tell you what problems they're faced with.
Right.
All you have to do at that point is just schedule a phone call between you, them, and me.
Right.
I'm going to be able to bring the solutions to the table. You're going to learn how I bring those solutions to the table, how I handle the call, and then we just share the deal. And that seems to be the thing that's been getting agents, I guess, more excited about jumping
Right.
into probate, is hitching their wagon to somebody like myself, like you, like Ray, who can bring solutions to the table, regardless of what the administrator or the executive is dealing with.
Especially the first or second time. I think that's where agents, when they're newer, they're scared, yet at the same time, that money is more important to them, right? I've been doing this for a while. I
hmm
got money put aside. I got deal flow. One deal is not going to make or break me. But to a new agent, that first commission is not just maybe the rent money for 3 months, but also that's the
hmm
first, the light to the match to get the fire started for them in their mind. And so having you to call, and I know that's true because I've been on other company coaching calls or mastermind calls where they'll say they're in your system, like you guys give them the leads and they're looking to get coached up or they're looking to get some additional coaching. And I do know they have you as a resource, and even the coaches on those calls will recognize, are you from Gary Gary D group? Yes, we are. Okay, well they can help you with that. So I think that's a great model, and I think it's one that you know agents sometimes they're hesitant to share the commission because they feel like they're sharing, like they're taking their food and giving it to you. It's the opposite. I feel like they're sharing the plate and you're showing them how to put some food on the plate, and both you guys get paid. And I think, and that's how I work with agents too. I say to them, look, you don't need me to do this. You only need me if you want to get it done. And if you want me to help you, great. And if not, no harm, no foul. I'm okay with that. But
And
yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
forever. I mean, the
Yeah.
Right.
of the training program is to eventually take the training wheels off and let them be a standalone agent solving problems on their own.
Yeah.
But one of the big misconceptions that I'm sure you hear all the time, that Ray and I face on a weekly basis with agents that are coming and working with us, is they bring this misconception that being brand new to probate, the way they're going to break in is they're going to just start generating referrals from attorneys. And I have to pump their brakes and explain to them, the way you're going to generate leads from and referrals from attorneys is by successfully helping their clients sell a property during probate and solve problems for them, and basically
Yeah.
prove yourself to the attorney so that
100%.
it's confidence in you. So
100%.
that leads me into my next question, to our next question for you, Bill, is from your experience, what are some of the most effective strategies that you've seen that agents are currently using to consistently build those relationships and referrals from the probate attorneys in your marketplace?
I think when you say build referrals, I think the way you get in is you do a deal with a customer and then they have an attorney and then effectively working with the attorney in a way that they want to work with you. Now, the problem with that is, at least in LA County, which I'm an expert, I have the data for LA County. I can't speak to other counties. I think it's also true that in LA, 9% of the probate cases are done by an attorney who does one deal a year or less. So you can't get referrals from somebody who does one deal or one deal a year or less. And the ones who do more tend to have relationships. Now, those relationships are good, they're not great. And so you really want the one who tells you they have a role to refer to. All you have to do is be better than them so much that the attorney goes, wow, you're a lot better than the other guy. I should give the next referral to you. And I also feel like we want to bring them business in. So the two things I would say are, you should know what you're talking about when you talk to the attorney. It just shocks me how few realtors have read the residential listing agreement addendum for probate or the residential purchase agreement addendum for probate and the probate advisory. If you just read that form carefully, the form and the advisory, so it's two forms and then one listing, one purchase. So there's three total forms, or I should say two addendums and one advisory. If you just read those three forms, you would know more than 95% of realtors in California on probate. Period. I guarantee it. As a listing agent, I get offers all the time. The forms fill out wrong. It's not attached. They send the form, but they'll click on it on the RPA form to include it. It's not difficult. And if you're, with Gary and Ray, we're with EXP. We also have brokers. There's no excuse not to know how to fill out the form. It's easy to get to. You get proud. There's no excuse. They took the excuse away. Just read the form. And I just feel if you read that and if you don't understand it, ask them questions in your meetings. That would solve so much of it, because then now you're not asking the stupid question. You're asking the question that should be known. Like, when do you want to file the notice of proposed action? Then there's different strategies. Some people want to do it right away. Some people, certain types of cases, the attorney wants to do it when you list the property because they're concerned there'll be objectors, even though it's not required maybe by law, but they want to do it anyhow. Some want to wait. So you're in escrow, they do the NOPA, notice of proposed action. Some want to wait till contingencies are cleared because all the heirs are going to sign off on it. So that's a question that shows you're informed. That'd be the first thing I would say is read the forms. And the second I would say is, if you're going to do business with an escrow title, take them out to lunch or coffee and ask them, what are the common mistakes that other agents make they see that you want to avoid in your business or practice? And I think just it's the basic fundamentals. We think it's some grandiose plan, but when you have that confidence, then when you do talk to the attorney, they're gonna go, wow, they're not stupid. They're not talking about things they don't know. They're asking thoughtful questions. They're trying to learn this business. I think that's where you'll stand out when you have those opportunities.
Very good.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, right on point. I mean, you're nailing it. That's exactly what it is. Now, what other tips do you have for agents who, that want to position themselves as knowledgeable experts in this complex niche market? You did, obviously just touch on the last question, but what other things can they, really stand out in this niche?
Well, the other thing I would say is that you always want to be learning, right? And I don't care where you're in real estate. If you say, Bill, I just want to sell, I don't know, Newport Beach homes. Well, good. Then know every single house for sale in Newport Beach, every single one, every listing agent, every sale, every expired, every canceled. If you want to know probate, you want to know everything about probate. And so as you learn, because in the beginning you don't know it all, as you learn something, share that with your sphere of influence, with your center of influence, with your database, whatever you call that group of people that you know, like, and trust. Post what you learn on Facebook, post what you learn on LinkedIn, make a video, put it on YouTube. That's what I started doing. Was I took a class, I learned something, I took a video of that, and I posted that. I learned something else, I posted that. Well, the first probate deals you're going to get, in my experience, are going to be your friends, family, past client, the buyer in open house who didn't buy with you 3 years ago, but he's in your database, and you email out to everybody a link to your YouTube, and they'll call you and say, my uncle died, I'm the only heir, what do I do? And there's no substitute for the people that already know, like, and trust you, and you know, like, and trust, but it does require you to learn something. I just said you can learn by reading the forums. So spend an hour a day, half hour a day, learn a little bit, and then share what you learn on your social media. If you do that every day, you have something to share every day in your social media. And I do believe the fastest way to get business that you'll get paid on are the people that already know, like, and trust you. We miss that business, and there's no reason why you shouldn't master that. And again, if you're scared, well, I don't know what to do. I'm brand new. You got Gary and Ray, and I don't know how you guys split that up, but these guys are pros on probate. I like to say I'm the expert. I'm not going to go up against you guys so I can get away with it, but I don't want to have to compete with you. I'd rather compete with the other agents.
Yeah, well, you're doing amazing. So,
Hopefully we don't have to
I mean, obviously, yeah.
work on them together.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's work together. I'm fine with that. Yeah, no, but I think for the new agent, they become you, right? They become Ray or Gary, and I think that's the superpower of collaboration. And I do think it's part of our company culture, the XP, that's unique, is we have these systems set up to make it work better for us as with each other. But if you get the lead, you're in control. You're driving the car. Now you might need somebody to tell you directions or something, but you're driving the car, and the best leads are the ones that people already know, like, and trust you.
Yeah, for sure. And that's also one of the things that we talk about when we're doing our speaking events. I mentioned to the room full of agents, by a show of hands, who's ever done a probate transaction? everyone's hand goes up. But then I follow that up with, now, out of all of those hands that went up, how many of those deals came to you by someone that knows, likes, and trusts you through your sphere of influence? Every single hand stayed up. And that's the point, is real estate agents, they may have done a probate here or there, but very few like us have an actual systematic approach to it, to build a scalable, repeatable, consistent deal flow through our probate real estate business. And that's where the rubber meets the road. Is an agent may have done a deal that fell into their lap because their friend's grandmother passed away, but do you actually have a systematic approach to making probate consistent, repeatable, and ultimately recession-proofing your real estate? Right.
You know, I talk to agents like that all the time, not as formally as you do, but informally. They'll tell me they did a deal. I'll say, well, okay, well, who was the attorney? I don't remember. Well, you can't get referrals from somebody if you don't remember who they are, right? Who was their paralegal? Who was the secretary at the front desk? Did you go in and drop off Starbucks for her, or cookies for her, or drop off an EXP pen or something, for her or him? And I think that those are the missed opportunities, that it's just right there for us, and they just don't grab. And I think the purpose of my trying to talk about this on your podcast is to alert people. It's right in front of you. It's not really that complicated, but you have to be paid attention to it. And if you know something about it, I'll share with you guys real quick a story, which is I started probate and I took a class, alltheleads.com, got certified. I started calling my past client database. I got a couple of deals going, but I also went to court every day to learn and also to lead generate. My lead generation was I went to court every day. This is pre-COVID. One day at court, I meet a young woman who my wife and I knew her mother and her socially. She lived in our community. We'd been to dinner with her mother one time, had been to dinner with her recently at a friend's house. And she says to me, well, what are you doing here? I said, well, I'm a real estate agent. I do probate real estate. I come to court every day. I dressed like that. I wore a suit, tie, had a tray bag. I said, what brings you here? She was the administrator on the estate, had about $15 million of real estate that had to be sold. Boom. So you go, well, Bill, that's kind of lucky. Okay, good. Flash forward, 4 or 5 years now. I have a business going. I'm doing really good. I have an attorney who calls me up, who I've known for 25 years, one of my best friends. He was a civil attorney, not probate, but he had a client who won a lawsuit, and somebody who died, they needed to do a probate in order to sue or whatever the situation was. And he ends up calling me to refer me about a $2 million commercial property to sell. I'm with XP. We had the ability to sell commercial as well. Sold that for him. 2 years later, the same attorney calls me and says, oh, by the way, I have a $40 million estate, but we need somebody who's a fiduciary. I connect him with that, connect him with an attorney. All I'm saying is my biggest business for all the prospecting I've done has been from a woman that I knew socially through a dinner at my best friend's house, and a guy that I'd known for 25, 30 years, one of my best friends. His daughter was my daughter's first babysitter. Like, we knew real well. I was only ready to do their business because I was working my system every day. And so when Gary and Ray say, make those phone calls or whatever it is you're having them do, phone calls or go somewhere, or door knock, whatever it is, that you're talking the talk, so that when you do get a friend or family member, you're on point, you know what to say. You're not brand new then starting. You've been doing it already. That's how you convert that business.
Yeah.
I picked up plenty of clients by just being in the right place at the right time at the courthouse while I'm rifling through the computers and extracting data for lead.
Yeah.
On one of our previous podcasts where it was just Ray and I, and we were given updates on, deals and things like that. One of the topics that we kind of got onto a bunny trail on was just talking about, and we talked a little bit about it today with you, is that, in real estate, we're all problem solvers, but even more so when it comes to probate. And what a great, that really, in most cases, at least from my experience, when I'm talking with a personal representative, even before they've had their hearing date, and they're already telling me that their attorney has already connected them with a real estate agent, and they're going to use that person, blah, 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 blah. But then you continue to talk, and you find out some of their pain points, you find out what some of their hurdles and what their situation is. And one of the things that comes up a lot is people need money now, and they can't wait until the end. They can't wait until final distribution. They need money now. And like you you're involved. You have a great tool called ProbateCash, which for our viewers you've heard us talk about an inheritance advance,
Hmm.
that kind of a tool. And that's how I've been able, in multiple situations, attract the business from another real estate agent who was referred by the attorney, only because I brought this extra tool to the table to the estate saying, oh, well,
Yeah.
you need cash now to buy a new place because you can't move until you have money to go to the next place. Well, let me tell you about this inheritance advance tool. And
Yes.
their mind's blown. So
Yes.
being that you have that's the same tool with ProbateCash,
Mm.
how can or how do agents innovate like that in the probate landscape to leverage tools like that to better serve their clients, to better solve problems?
It's a great question. The analogy I always use is I keep on my desk a Swiss Army knife. I don't know anybody else who has one, but they're not special, right? It's not
Yeah.
a particularly good knife. It's not a particularly good screwdriver. It's not a particularly good whatever, but it's a particularly good package of things good enough to get the job done. But it's also in my arm's reach right here, and I'm ready to go. And so I think and I know how to use them. Had that knife for a long time. So I would say that if you know how to use the product, if you know how to speak about it with confidence, then you're looking for the customer's problem and solving it rather than pitching a service that nobody cares about. Nobody really cares about advancing money. They really don't care about advancing money. They care, I need money to move, like you said, or I need money to pick, because sometimes the attorney wants a deposit, or the expenses of the probate, the filing fees and the publication fees and things like that, or need money to evict a tenant, or need money to put fence up to protect the property. Whatever their need is, you're solving that. You're not. It happens to be inheritance advance is the plumbing and is the electrical wiring. They don't really care about that. They have a problem, and you tell them how to solve it effectively, and that's the key. And so I think that's where it gets down to being confident enough to ask questions and listen and take notes, and then prescribe to the customer the solutions you can give to them. I will say that I've talked to a lot of people about probate advance, and a lot of attorneys in particular are very negative on it. I think because they know very little about it. Because, it's true, it's expensive money for the customer. It's true. They're going to pay 30% maybe or 40%, service fee for the money they're getting. So they get $20,000 and they're going to have to pay back, let's say, $28,000. But that could be life-changing money. I mean, I've had customers on the phone call me crying and thanks. They got money to bury their aunt, who's like their mother, and it cost $10,000. And otherwise, the aunt was sitting in this funeral home unattended, and the customer is going to come into $800,000 house. She didn't care about the $8,000 fee. There's more money she'd ever imagined she'd have. But to be able to solve the problem, it was a good decision for her. It's not me to judge. She's an adult. So to answer your question, I think the focus on the customer and their problems, and then the inheritance advance becomes just the plumbing, but it's the solution to the customer's problem that they want to hear about.
It's like it's
Yeah.
your analogy with the Swiss Army knife is a phenomenal analogy, because that's what all of us probate agents essentially want to have on our desk,
Right.
is a Swiss Army knife of
Right.
solutions for any problem that the estate mentioned that they bring to the table. We want to.
And not particularly better than anybody else. It's just I have all the tools ready to go, and I'm on the phone with you, and I can solve the problem right now. Whereas maybe an agent could call you and take a class and learn about inheritance advance, and then be able to answer some questions. Meanwhile, I've already talked to them. We got the advance paper going. They got the money in 2 days, and we're off to the races before they reach out to somebody else.
Yeah.
That's value right there for all you viewers that are watching this. You want to have, just like we've talked about before, you want to have, when you're prospecting, you want to have the probate advisory out on your desk, and you want to have the probate purchase addendum, those things that are talking points. Just like what Bill's mentioning, you want to already have yourself up to speed and educated on these solutions, so when it comes up in a conversation, you can address it right then and there.
Right. Right. I love to watch NFL football off season when they're training and they're practicing. And the mentality always is they practice so hard during the week, mentally and physically, that game day they don't think about it, they're just in the flow. And we as realtors, yes, every realtor could pull up the probate addendum and read it while they're talking to the customer. but I've already read it. So for me, I'm in the flow. I'm just answering the customer's question. That's where you want to be, is that place where you're flowing rather than doing the work on the fly.
Yeah, absolutely. An underlining theme, what I'm hearing is you're showing up, right? Your consistency and it's resources, solving problems and helping people, right? That's
Mhm.
what's propelling your business and getting to that next level. Like the example you just gave, you were showing up every day at the courthouses, right? You were there, you were showing up. The accumulation effect, you keep
Yeah,
doing it, it's going to work in the positive. So that's
yeah,
amazing tip for
yeah.
the viewers as well. Now, like for agents just starting out or looking to level up in probate, what common mistakes should they avoid and what best practices do you recommend to ensure a steady deal flow and client satisfaction?
Well, steady deal flow to me implies, regular activity, right? You got to talk to a lot of people. And I think the thing that people miss is the process. You have to love the process. It's not the solution. It's not the commission check. It's the process of the lead generation you have to learn to enjoy. I used to go to court every day. I loved it until COVID and it shut down here in LA, where I just really couldn't. And now the numbers are less, doesn't make sense to go. That's why I do more video. I love talking to guys like you. Really, I mean, on one hand, I like to say it's because I respect you, appreciate you, blah, blah, blah. The truth is, my business approach, I'll talk to people about real estate almost anytime, anywhere during my work hours. So why? Because that's what I do. I'm in real estate. I got to talk to a bunch of people. And if I don't have
Mhm.
enough business, it's because I didn't talk to enough people, whether it be in
Mm.
person or going to events or cold calling or whatever it is you do to generate activity. You got to do it consistently and do it all the time. And so the answer is you have to learn to love the process, and also video.
Yeah.
My coach had me commit to doing a video a day for 30 days. I hate it. I'm really a shy guy. I mean, I really am. My favorite hobbies are reading books and swimming on a swim team where you don't talk to anybody. I don't need any, I have a wife, a daughter, and 3 grandkids. I don't need anybody else in my life,
Right.
but I love talking about probate. I love talking about real estate. And so I do a
Yeah.
lot of that. So I've learned to love the process. And I say, whatever it is you're doing in your lead generation, figure out a way to learn to love that. There's different ways to skin this cat, but whatever it is you do, you got to do a lot of it consistently, and over time it'll add up. But you have to learn how to, I think, surrender to learn to love the process.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you hit it on the nail, right? You have to love the process. We're
Mm,
in the business to help people. And when you are connecting with people and you bring that energy, they can feel it, right?
yeah,
It's an attraction. So that's great, great,
yeah.
great advice. I mean, love the process. And if you don't have enough business, talk to more people.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
Simple as that. Really, just
Yeah,
you want 10 times more business, talk to 10 times more people. It all kind
that's
of
right.
works out. That's the Grant Cardone 10X thing. I have his little book over there
Yeah,
on my
yeah,
shoulder,
yeah,
right? Just talk to 10 times more people. It'll solve all your
yeah,
problems. I remember when I first heard that, like, well, I was doing a video a week, which in realtor world is pretty good, right? Most realtors
yeah,
don't do and he said 10 times, like, holy crap, how do I do 10 a week? Well, but I said, if I say, well, how do I do 10 a week? All of a sudden the solution became apparent. And I did those things. And now
yeah.
I do enough to where I have I have 30 hours a day of video watch time on my YouTube channel. It's crazy.
Nice. Good for
And I'm just
you.
me. You guys are good looking guys. You guys have faces for video. I'm like a podcast face, right? But somehow I managed to make it work.
That's awesome.
Well, hey Bill, we like to keep our podcasts relatively short, 30 minutes or so, but I really enjoyed having you on. Thank you
Oh
so
yeah.
much for taking the
Thanks.
time and sharing your insights and your knowledge and your experience with us. But
Yeah.
before we let you go, where can our listeners find you online? Where can they find your YouTube channel, learn more about your resources and your Probate Weekly podcast?
Just for social media at Bill Gross Probate. That's my YouTube channel at Bill Gross Probate. Or BillGrossProbate.com is my website with all my connections, what I'm up to and stuff. But my YouTube channel is the best way. I put all my content there and reach out, put comments there, questions there.
Okay. And for all of you
Oh,
watching us in our audience right now, we'll make sure that links to all of Bill's stuff is in the show notes
Thanks.
mhm.
um,
Thanks.
and the
Yeah.
description of the video. But again, Bill, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
For
Real
all
treat.
listeners, stay tuned for more expert advice on navigating the probate real estate market. This has been another awesome episode. Thanks
Yeah,
to our guest,
absolutely.
Gross, here on the Probate Hero Collective. As always, I'm Gary.
Yeah. I'm Ray.
We'll see you next time. Thanks,
See you
Bill.
next time.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you,
That was a lot of
Bill.
fun.
Right on.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.